Hello and welcome to Season 3 of the Minecraft Archive. I'm Jared3118 and this is Episode 4. And in this episode we are going to be building a minecart rail system that will take us from the bedrock here all the way up to the surface. And as you can tell, I have completed this massive room, 16 by 16, from the bedrock all the way to just below the ocean. This took so many hours of digging, it's not even funny. I was getting so sick of digging, but I finally got finished just a bit ago, and it's time to build a minecart rail system so we can quickly travel up and down. So let me give you a little tour. Not a whole lot has changed in here. We've still got the furnace room over there. I just put a little doorway to the branch mine there. And here is all the cobblestone that I got from mining this 16 by 16 hole in the ground. So quite a bit of cobblestone, thousands of blocks of it. There's the wheat farm still going strong. And actually, speaking of wheat, I am mighty hungry. So let's take a break to eat some food. And there we go. Let me see if I have any wheat. We typically don't keep wheat in the crafting table. Got a couple pieces here. And what I've been doing when I want to harvest this is just using a bucket of water. But I don't have a bucket of water on me, so I'll just do this real quick just to get a couple pieces. That way I don't have to do this in the middle of the episode later on. There we go, that should be enough to make a few pieces of bread. And there we go. And of course, it's a rainy day. And the rain actually travels all the way down, but we're going to go up there and we're actually going to clog up that hole anyways. So this is the winding staircase that I have that goes from the bottom all the way up to the top. Still have my tree farm in there. I'm going to expand that a little bit, probably off camera. Because it's not terribly exciting, but I do need some more trees down here because I will need a lot of wood for this minecart rail system. And here we go, all the way up to just below the ocean. You can see the water dripping through the ceiling there. And let's see, it looks like it's nighttime out. By the way, these ladders right here look really cool at nighttime. Sorry, it's probably going to be a little loud with the rain, but I want to show you this from a distance. I think that looks pretty cool. But anyways, let's head down here. And we are not going to need the ladders anymore from this point here. So, let's go ahead and get rid of those there. And I think if I hop on here, I actually want to stand on top of the ladder. There we go. Okay, we don't want it raining in our nice tower here, so I'm just going to temporarily clog this up and get rid of this column here with the two ladders. I no longer need this. One thing I am going to have to add later on are some of those lava columns that I used in Enterprise Estates from Season 1 of the Minecraft Archive. Basically, just columns of glass with a column of lava in the middle. Lava really lights up an area, and since this room is so big and so open, I will probably put one in each corner, but as you can tell from up here, it is very dark in some spots. But thankfully, the monsters cannot spawn because the only places they could spawn on are the stairs, and they're lit up nice and good. So, let's head all the way down to the bedrock. And when I say the bedrock, I basically mean the bottom of the tower. You can't see the bedrock. It's just 4 layers down, but I am very deep within the world. So I'd like to leave the middle of this tower nice and open so that when it's all finished, you can look up and wow, it's really dark now. I must have had some torches up there or something. But anyways, you'll be able to look up there and hopefully see the top of the tower. I'm not sure how that'll work. I'm not sure if you can actually see that far. I do have my render distance set to far, but that's quite some distance. Okay, still got some more ladders in here. One thing you will notice is I have 0 experience. Earlier today when I was climbing up and down the ladder, I decided I was going to try to place a torch on the side of that column way up at the top. I fell and I died, and when I came back, all my items were here, but the experience was nowhere to be found. So back to ground zero, I guess. Oh, I didn't mean to put that in there. There we go. Now it's not so dark. But let's get to building this minecart rail system. This minecart rail system needs to be pretty smart to be able to travel both up and down the winding staircase. Also, I would like for it to be able to stop at each room. And I also would like the option to bypass rooms that I don't commonly use. So I have came up with this little contraption here. Basically, this switch says, do I want to stop at this room ever? And if it is set to up, yes. When a minecart goes by this room, it will stop and it will wait for me to push the button before it continues me down the minecart rail. Now, if it's down, this may be a room, I don't go to my tree farm very often. I don't use it anymore. So I flip the switch down, and now every time the minecart comes down the track, it'll simply bypass this room. But at any time, I can come back here and flip the switch, and it'll start stopping at this room again. So if that doesn't make sense quite yet, let's get building this thing, and hopefully I can clear it up for you. So I am just going to trace the outline of these stairs. Maybe that won't work there. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Well, that's pretty hideous. Let's see if I can make that minecart rail drop down any sooner. Tell you what, I might have to change this so it is 1 block lower. Otherwise, we're going to get this ugly looking thing. So let's go ahead and undo this. And ideally, I want it to look like that. Oops, can't hop up there. And not going to be able to do that. So as you can see, I haven't really planned this out real well. Might have to take a break off camera and try to figure this out. I don't really have enough room to do exactly what I'm wanting. So yeah, give me just a minute and I will be right back and figure out how this minecart track is going to be laid out. Alright, I am back. I said it was just going to be a minute, but it ended up being a lot longer than that. I found out this minecart rail system is going to have to be a little bit more complicated than I originally planned. Plain and simple, the winding staircase is a little too steep to build a minecart rail system on the inside of the winding staircase and to have it just simply follow the edge of the staircase. So what I have to do is do a few extra curves in the minecart rail system to make up for it. But let's go ahead and show you guys the progress I have made so far. Basically, this is where you get into the cart at the very bottom of the tower. You press the button to go. And we stop at the tree farm, room number 5. Now, I could get out here if I wanted. Go, harvest some wood, whatever, and get back in the cart. Now, there's the switch here, and like I was explaining earlier, if I flip the switch, this cart will no longer stop at the tree farm until I flip the switch the other way. So let's go ahead and flip it down, and let's pretend I go all the way up to the top of the tower. I come back down, and there we go. I bypass the tree farm, and I go all the way down to the wheat farm. So if I go up here and I look at the lever, you will see that the redstone is continuously lit up, therefore giving the powered rails power and making the cart bypass the tree farm. So I don't want it to bypass the tree farm, so I'm going to flip it off. And there we go. The powered rails no longer have power, and it will stop at the tree farm every time, and I will have to push the button to continue on. So hopefully that makes sense. That little contraption's not too hard to build. You just have two powered rails pointed at each other, both at slopes. You do one block in between with redstone on both the blocks, and then up above you have a lever on one side and a button on the other. And it doesn't matter which side they are on, you can flip-flop them however you like. But basically there will be a room here, and one more up there, and the minecart rail system will stop at each of those, 4 or 5 rooms. So I am going to continue to work on the minecart rail system. I make quite a few mistakes as I'm building it, so I'm going to do it off camera. I simply don't have enough time in the video to show the entire building process, but I will be back in just a bit to show you guys the finished product. Alright, I am back, and the minecart rail system is completely finished. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but it works exactly as I originally intended. So let's go ahead and hop in this minecart and show you guys the finished product. So there we go, stops at room 5, the tree farm. And you get a little dizzy on this thing, but it takes you where you need to go. So then it would take you to the next room, and I just keep pressing the button. And I can get out at any time I want, but it eventually takes me all the way to the top of the tower. So, or not necessarily the top, but the top for what has been built so far. Eventually, the tower will, of course, go all the way through the ocean, all the way up to the sky, making some really good progress on this thing. But let me go ahead and show you this feature that I was talking about. There is no room here right now, so I don't want the minecart stopping here. So I'm going to flip that switch down. And no room here. Flip this switch down. Same with this floor. And as you can see how long it takes to walk up and down these stairs. We do have the tree farm here, so I do want it to stop on this floor. And then of course there's the beginning. So let's go all the way back up to the top, and this is exactly why I built the minecart rail system, because walking up and down the stairs is a pain in the butt. And watch how fast I go from the top all the way down to the tree farm. Push the button, and it bypasses all the floors that don't have rooms yet. This thing's turning like crazy. Stops at the tree farm, and I can press the button. And actually, that right there, that is a bug in the system. We don't want to go all the way back up to the top. For some reason, it didn't get me to the right slope, the right part of the minecart rail. Let's see where this takes me. Yeah, I'm actually going through here a little too fast now, so I want the cart to ideally stop on that slope like that. So when I press the button, it goes down to the bottom. So I will have to tweak some of these powered rails so it doesn't get so much speed. But as you can see, it works pretty well. Just got to work out that last little kink. But in the next episode, we are going to continue this tower up through the ocean. So that is what the next episode will be about. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys could put this little contraption right here to good use. It's a nice little two-way minecart rail system to be able to travel up and down a very tall area. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later.